3. The future of casino gambling will be decided by you in 2 weeks. And this gets somewhat complicated. A no vote on question 3 means that you will keep the 3 planned casinos and 1 slot parlor in the Bay State. A yes vote would repeal casinos. This morning we have Steve Tolman, who's the president of the AFL-CIO of Massachusetts. He's speaking on behalf of casinos. John Ribeiro of East Boston, who has led the charge to repeal them, is also with us as well. Again, it's a little different, it's a little convoluted. Yes means no and no means yes in many fronts in this question.
So, John, let's start with you since you're the proponent. You want to repeal casinos. Very briefly, tell us in 30 seconds your argument on why.
You know, in the past 2 weeks, we've seen the casino culture break out in full force here in Massachusetts with indictments being handed down in the Everett land deal. The Gaming Commission is clearly too cozy with these folks, and we've had entirely too much corruption in Massachusetts already on Beacon Hill. We don't need another reason to have corruption in Massachusetts. And there was a backroom deal that was set up, and we want to stop it.
Does he have a point there, Steve? 30 seconds. Your argument for why the casinos should remain in Massachusetts.
Well, if we just look at the last decade, for instance, every single year, nearly $1 billion of Massachusetts residents' money is spent in New England states around us. We should be spending that right here in Massachusetts. We have a class city, a first-class city here in Massachusetts, right, Boston. We've got Everett, where we'll clean up contaminated land in order to have a resort casino. We have Springfield, where we're going to be able to take some of the tornado-ravaged land in smart growth and put it together to help revitalize Springfield. Desperately needed. A double-digit unemployment, and in Plainville, they're already working. Hundreds of people working down there, hundreds of people applying for jobs.
So, Steve, that's our launching point. Basically, your argument boils down to jobs, right? I mean...
well, jobs and revenue.
Jobs and
revenue, because the state needs revenue, Ed.
But let me ask you about the convoluted citing process that left a bad image in the minds of many voters. If they can't get the citing done right, how do people believe the creation of these gambling parlors will be done correctly?
There's a glitch in the citing, apparently, in Everett, but that's about... You know, they've done
everything. Is it a glitch or is it the Grand Canyon? I mean,
well, let's face it. What I know about it is it's contaminated land, and the bottom line is they're going to clean it up. That's what I think is very important. Generations have suffered with that horrible land. They're going to clean it up and have a resort casino, a destination place where people will go to see great shows, great talent.
John, so that's our last best resort. Casinos, that's what we need to clean up our land here in Massachusetts. That should be, that's a Superfund site. There's federal dollars that are set aside for that. That should have been addressed by our political leaders a long time ago. Casinos are failing all around the country. They're Atlantic City, Detroit, one failure after another. Casinos have not saved a single community or state, and they're not going to do it here in Massachusetts either.
But does Steve have a point saying, do you throw out the baby with the bathwater because of this citing problem that is not exactly connected to anything that the Gaming Commission has done? Because of that, do you just tell the people in Plainville and in Springfield, no, there's going to be, you're not going to get what you wanted, what you voted for?
Well, you know, you talk about the people in Plainville and Springfield. You need to talk about the people in Foxborough and Longmeadow and West Springfield who haven't had a say on whether a casino is going to be located near them. And when they look around the country and they see the impacts that come along with casinos, which are enumerated in the law because we account for them. We say there's going to be an impact on small businesses. We say there's going to be an increase in crime. And it's going to happen to those people, and they haven't had a say. And that's what question 3 does. It allows everybody in Massachusetts to decide whether they want the casino culture to come here or not.
Is he right about that?
But hasn't that already been decided? Well, John, let me ask you this. Hasn't that already been decided? Didn't the voters say
no?
2 years ago that was already decided.
No, it was not. That came about by the legislature. The governor, the speaker, and the Senate president came up with a backroom deal. It wasn't debated in that legislative process. When Speaker DeLeo came into power, 100 votes changed overnight in the House of Representatives. That was not brought about by the will of the people, by the will of 3 people.
Let's be perfectly clear. We have gambling. Everybody gambles everything. You know, you gamble on sports. I don't, but a lot of people gamble on sports all the time. The most important thing we've done here is try to save the money that $1 billion is leaving Massachusetts every single year. Every year, $1 billion. We could bring $400 million in state revenue, of which 20% of it will be split with municipalities. This is a potential, an opportunity to strengthen our communities, to most importantly have resort-type casinos where you go see great entertainment. You don't always go to gamble. It's a destination resort. We have pieces in the legislation, and I was there when we passed this, I was in the Senate, that actually provide language to use the local businesses, to have spillover jobs.
But is he right when he says that the folks that live in the communities around Springfield, around Plainville, around Everett, that they haven't really had a say about having a casino right next door?
Well, I'm sure that, like every community, Springfield has voted for it, so they, like every other community, and that was,
But I'm talking about the neighboring communities.
well, I don't know whether they voted or not. I don't think
They
have.
haven't.
They
No,
have
you
an
have-
opportunity to vote now. They're going to have this
Exactly,
opportunity.
that's
with
what this
vote.
is all about. And
it-
you know, we talk about the money that's going to Connecticut. That money hasn't helped Connecticut. Connecticut has one of the highest tax burdens of the country. A few years ago, it was named the worst place to do business in the country, and number 50 out of 50 states.
But Leslie, I'm going to be real quick because we only have like 30 seconds left. Just boil it down to yes or no here. The money has been lopsided in this race. Do you think that it's been a fair fight?
It's never been a fair fight, but this fight has never been about money. We saw in East Boston and Palmer and Milford, we are outspent as much as 100 to 1. This message resonates. People don't want casinos in Massachusetts.
Has it been a fair fight?
Of course, it's up to the people to decide. The facts remain that you want $1 billion leaving the state every single day. Do you want decent jobs with benefits? There's a lot of people out there that are unemployed that are looking for an opportunity to have employment. And most importantly, the revenue that is leaving here year after year, we should have it in Massachusetts and then reinvest in our public education.
Gentlemen,
Along with the revenue comes all the problems that you see everywhere else in the country.
Gentlemen, thank you for a very engaging debate. And folks, again, this is a complicated question. If you vote no, the casinos stay. If you vote yes, the casinos don't stay. So it's a complicated question. Read it carefully when you go to vote. We'll talk with our OTR Roundtable. Stay with us.